As soon as 2023 started, I saw posts all over social media with super ambitious routines. I saw one in particular, and what it said was 15,000 steps a day, 3 minutes of mindfulness before every meal, sleep from 9:30 p.m. to 5 a.m. precisely every single night, run 10 miles a week, lift 4 times per week, and do yoga twice a week on my rest days. Is this a solid plan? Absolutely. But if you don't have 99% of this dialed in already, your ambitious new year, new you, will be a bust before you even know it. Instead, I'm going to give you one thing to focus on. Instead of hitting the brick wall of failed expectations, you're going to gain momentum and keep going into February, into March, and beyond. Hey, this video is brought to you today by my friends at Element. Element is a tasty electrolyte mix with everything you need and nothing you don't. That means lots of salt and no sugar. Element was formulated to help anyone with their electrolyte needs and is perfectly suited to folks following keto, low carb, or paleo diets. Element contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium per packet. The perfect ratio I have found for me. What I love the most is that there's no junk, no sugar, no coloring, no artificial ingredients, no gluten, no fillers, no BS. As a member of our community, Element has a very special offer for you. You can claim your free Element sample pack simply by going over to the website drinkelement.com/MarcusPhilly to get yours. And if you're wondering what my favorite flavor is, raspberry salt mixed with some ice water is delicious. I hope you enjoy. The best type of habit to start is one that will stack up and help you win in other areas too. I've never seen someone get more consistent with their training while also giving more effort and not see favorable health and body improvements. So back up one step to what you eat before training. This single meal can make you feel sluggish, bloated, gassy, and tempt you to skip the gym. Or it can create positive associations of caring for your body, fuel you with what you need for training, boost your energy for your workout and beyond, and dramatically improve your training for the day and see the results stack up every session. When you feel good during your workout, you're much more likely to come back the next time and keep your consistency streak. So when should you have a pre-workout meal? Ideal timing is anywhere from 1 to 2 hours before training. There's a subtle difference depending on how close to training it is, but mostly the prescription is the same. It's important to keep in mind that this meal will fuel your workout with carbohydrates for energy and also set up a muscle building environment, also known as an anabolic window, with the macronutrient protein. How much fat or fiber you eat depends on how close to training time this meal is. Fat and fiber are going to slow down digestion, which can prevent some nutrients from being available when you want them the most during training. This can be good if you're eating further away from your training time, but it's not ideal if you're training fairly soon. Now, what if I train fasted? If this is what your lifestyle demands, then do it. But you'll want to prioritize your post-workout nutrition if that's the case. Get some protein and carbs in immediately after you train. Then, about 1 to 2 hours later, have a balanced meal of protein, carbs, and fats. What if I miss the window and I really only have about 15 to 20 minutes before I have to start training? I recommend to still go for some nutrition, but keep it simple and go for easy to digest nutrients. A quick protein shake and a piece of fruit are likely your best bet. Avoid slow digesting foods with higher fat or fiber like nuts, grains, and raw vegetables. So here's what should go into your pre-workout meal. And this will work for most as a starting point, but you'll be able to learn over time what works best for you and make adjustments. To start with, let's focus on carbs. You're gonna look for about 0.45 grams of carbohydrates per pound of body weight that you have in this meal. You're gonna choose slower digesting starches like potatoes or oats. You're also gonna add in a serving of fruit. Fruit digests differently than other starches and can deliver more carbs into the system, our bodies, at the right time for performance. Next up is protein. For protein, you want to aim for about 0.22 grams of protein per pound of body weight in this meal. I want you looking for leaner sources where you can control the fat content of your protein. An example would be chicken breast. We don't want super fatty meats as they'll digest a bit slower and not allow nutrients to be available for the workout window that we're about to have. When it comes to fats, keep your fats between 0 and 20 grams total. Now, depending on how close to training time this is, these fats can come from any source that you like or just simply be part of the protein that you're eating. You want to aim for more fats the further away from training this meal is, and less fats the closer to training it is. As an example, if you're eating right before training, within 15 minutes, aim for no fat. And if you're eating 2 hours away from training, you'll aim for slightly higher amounts of fat. If these numbers are starting to spin you around, just remember this. Get a decent amount of starchy carbs, a serving of fruit, a little lean protein, and a little less fat if you're trying to jump right into training. Now let's look at some examples. Let's take a male athlete, 180 pounds, training in an hour from now. He's gonna wanna focus on lower fat since training time is coming up soon. We're gonna get about 80 grams of carbs, 40 grams of protein, and only 10 grams of fat in this meal. One of my favorite go-to pre-workout meals is overnight oatmeal. This one's gonna have 30 grams of protein powder, any kind that you like, but we're aiming for about 30 to 35 grams of net protein here. This is also gonna have 75 grams of oatmeal measured out by dry weight. It's gonna have a medium banana, and all these ingredients are gonna be mixed in a jar with water and placed in the fridge overnight. Add in 1 hard-boiled egg to this, and you've got yourself those macros and a tasty, convenient meal that you can have an hour before training. Here's another example. This time it's a female athlete at 120 pounds. She's gonna be training in 2 hours. Now her targets have slightly higher fat since training time is further away. She's gonna aim for 55 grams of carbs, 27 grams of protein, and 15 grams of fat. For this meal, we're going with a spinach and egg scramble. We're starting off with a half a tablespoon of grass-fed butter in the pan. Then we're gonna throw in 2 whole eggs along with 100 grams of egg whites. We'll let that scramble, and towards the end, we'll throw in 2 cups of spinach. We'll cover the pan and let that wilt down into the eggs. On the side, 150 grams sweet potato and a medium-sized apple. When you start to incorporate meals like these into your routine, you'll have better workouts and create more positive mental associations with training. This is what I talk about when I say stacking wins. Stack those wins one by one and just keep going with your one habit of a great pre-workout meal until you have it really dialed in. Then you can keep going with small changes that add up to a huge impact over time. If you need more nutrition ideas, visit my website at functional-bodybuilding.com and be sure to sign up for my email list for free resources just like